In today's video, I'm going to talk about my first impressions of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Now, as a full disclaimer before we start the video, I'm not a competitive Pokemon player at all. I'm just a casual player. I enjoy the games. I haven't played all of them. I played all of them besides Generation 3, 4, and 5 because around that time I just kind of lost interest. I do plan on going back and playing those. However, like I said, I just haven't played those, but I have played the more recent ones, XY, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. And at the time of recording this video, I'm only about 3.5 hours in. I have 25 Pokemon caught, and I'm not at the first gym yet, but I'm working there. So first things first, let's talk about the graphics. The graphics, they're not the best. I know there's been some anger from Pokemon fans that are like, the game looks like garbage. It's like PS1 or PS2 graphics. I wouldn't go that far. The game looks good. It's not amazing. It's not as good as Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey, because those kind of set the bar for how great games can look on the Switch. It's definitely nowhere near the way those look, but I will say it's above the way Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu look, which I honestly had no problem with the way those games look. Sure, they're not super realistic, but Pokemon's not trying to be super realistic. But then again, Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey aren't either, and they look great, so it's like, I definitely would like to see the graphics pushed. One thing I noticed is when they're trying to show distance, like, let's say your character is in focus and the background is blurred, I did notice there's quite a few jagged edges. It's not very smooth. It's not the most amazing thing to look at, but again, it's definitely not PS1 looking graphics. Definitely, like I said, it's slightly better than Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. Speaking of graphics, I will say there is no voice acting. I kind of wish there was. It just seems kind of empty without it. Like, I know Breath of the Wild had some voice acting, but it kind of helped it. It kind of helped elevate it, and I kind of wish Pokemon would do that as well. Also, the sounds of the Pokemon, they're not the best sounding. They definitely still kind of sound like the 3DS games, which those to me still kind of sound like a slightly better like Game Boy / Game Boy Advance sounds. Like just the way the Pokemon sound is what I'm talking about. It's definitely, I would definitely like to see that improved. You know, like I said, some voice acting, or like the way the Pokemon sound in the anime. That would be awesome to have. But it's not the worst thing in the world. I've read people saying the game's unplayable because of the graphics. I would definitely say that's false. It's 100% playable. It just doesn't look mind-blowing and amazing, which is really disappointing. That's definitely something I would like to see in the next Pokemon game. Better graphics, better sound effects, like better Pokemon sounds, rather. Because the music in the game is amazing. I absolutely love the music in Pokemon Sword. As soon as I started hearing it, I was like, oh, this is great. This is amazing. I love it. But that's something Gamefreak has always been good at, is having really just awesome music in their games. So I'm not surprised that the music sounds great, because it honestly, it does. It sounds fantastic. One thing I did forget to mention with like the graphics is there are some time during the gameplay where the FPS does kind of drop down. The frames like do dip. Is mainly when you're about to battle, and it has like the cutscene and it shows your character and the trainer you're about to battle. It seems like it kind of dips down, which is kind of strange because there's not a lot going on. It's just, a simple basic moving background with two Pokemon trainers. It's nothing, like I said, intense. Overall though, the gameplay is very similar to Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. Like how as soon as you like defeat a Pokemon, all your Pokemon get leveled, so there's no experience share, XP share. I always call it just XP. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's gonna be any of that, because as soon as you battle, all your Pokemon get XP. Which at first, when I first started playing Alpha Sapphire, when you get the XP share, I noticed you get it within like the first like 10 or 15 minutes of the game. Kind of turned me off because that was like one of my favorite parts about the original games is grinding with each of your Pokemon to level them up and evolve them. However, once I started playing Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, I actually started really enjoying that. Like, I can just battle a Pokemon and all my Pokemon get leveled. Does it make it easier? Yeah, but we'll get into that towards the end of the video. But overall, like, the battle system's great. I like the moves. I love the design of the Pokemon. I just really enjoy it. So those I'm totally fine with. I do know people were complaining that on some of the moves it says whether it's super effective or effective. To me, that doesn't really bother me. Because I know if I'm battling a grass-type Pokemon, I know of fire Pokemon's moves are going to be super effective. And I know if I'm using like a ground Pokemon or a rock Pokemon, battling like a grass or a water Pokemon, it's gonna be vice versa. Their attacks can be super effective. Like, that's fine with me. So I really have no complaints about that. Now let's talk about the wild area. That's actually where I spent most of my time. I spent a good hour and a half in that area just catching Pokemon and doing the Dynamaxing, which, yeah, it's a gimmick, but it's really fun. Like, I wasn't big into, the Z moves and the Mega Evolutions. I'm like, alright, that's cool, but the Dynamaxing, yeah, it's a gimmick, kind of like those, but I actually kind of enjoy it. I enjoy it a little bit better than the Z moves. It's like, it's just a gimmick, but it's pretty fun. Like, I actually kind of enjoy it. The animations in that look pretty cool. I like the way it looks. And the whole wild area itself is actually really awesome because not only are there like regular Pokemon around your level, but you'll see Pokemon, like big Pokemon, that are like level 25 to 35. I even saw one that was like level 41. And my Pokemon at the time were only like level 15. So I was like, I'm gonna get wrecked. And one of my Pokemon got knocked out in one hit. Which is actually kind of cool because that gives me something to work towards. Because there's some Pokemon, like I saw a couple Snorlax, I saw a Steelix and an Onix. I was like, yo, I want these Pokemon, but their levels are too high, I'm gonna get wrecked. I need to, do some more gym battles, and I need to, build my Pokemon strength and level up. This way I can catch these Pokemon. One thing I also forgot to mention with like the gameplay is that it is very similar to Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, where you can see Pokemon in the overworld, but there are some random encounters. It's not like it used to be, just walk through grass, you get a random encounter. You can tell when there's going to be a random encounter, because you'll see, like, the grass move, and you'll see, like, a little exclamation point. And it's nice. Like, I do like seeing the Pokemon in the overworld. This way, I don't run into the same 5 Pokemon over and over again. I kind of walk my way around and get different Pokemon. So overall, I'm actually having a lot of fun with Pokemon Sword and Shield, despite its flaws, despite its graphical flaws, and I do know people are upset that there's no natural Pokédex, not all the Pokemon are in it. But for me, I'm okay with that. Like I said, I'm not a competitive player. Don't get me wrong, I would love to have my Typhlosion in this game, but to me, it's not the end of the world. And I know people are complaining that the games are getting too easy, which I've been in that camp. I was like, the games are getting a little bit easier, but I sat down and thought about it. I was like, have the games really gotten easier? And then, like I said, I was just thinking, and I realized, I was like 7 or 8 when the original games came out. I was young. And Pokemon is meant to encapsulate everybody, but it's aimed more towards a younger audience. So people saying that it's getting easier, I think you're kind of missing the point. Like, Pokemon is still aimed more towards, like I said, a younger audience. It's not like a Final Fantasy or, let's say, like Chrono Trigger or anything like that, where it's like an insanely intense RPG. It's supposed to be a friendly, a kid-friendly RPG that anyone could play and enjoy. And that's something I think people need to realize, is that, yeah, it's something we grew up with. Yeah, it would be nice if it, it stayed challenging. However, that's not their main target audience. Their main target audience is kids. Like, that's what Pokemon is meant for. Don't forget, they have the Pokemon TCG, Pokemon anime, which, I mean, I still watch them, I still play them, but again, it's aimed more towards a younger audience, and I think that's just something people really need to take into consideration. Don't get me wrong, I would love it to be more challenging. However, I'm still having a lot of fun, and that's all that counts. And to all the people that are review bombing it without even playing it, give it a chance. It's Pokemon. Pokemon is fun. It's great. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So let me know in the comments down below, have you started playing Pokemon Sword and Shield? Are you enjoying it? What are your guys' impressions? Who was your starter? I chose Score Bunny. And I'm happy I did, because I really like Score Bunny and its evolutions. It's great. I love it. I'm honestly really, really enjoying the game. But with that being said, you guys rock, stay rad. I'll see you guys next time.